Welcome back. Since Chantal says there is no difference between a Christian veil and a Muslim hijab, let's take a closer look. The Christian veil and the Muslim hijab are two types of head coverings that are often worn for religious and cultural purposes. While both the veil and the hijab may have similar appearances, there are significant differences between the two in terms of their religious significance, symbolism, and cultural practices. Starting with the Christian veil, it is a head covering that is predominantly worn by women in the Roman Catholic, Anglican, and Eastern Orthodox churches. In Christian tradition, the veil is a symbol of modesty and reverence in the presence of God. It is also worn by nuns as a sign of dedication to God and a symbol of their religious calling. There are also different types of veils worn by Christian women, including the mantilla veil, which is a circular piece of lace or sheer fabric that is often pinned to the head with a brooch, and the chapel veil, which is a square piece of fabric that is draped over the head and fastened with a clip. On the other hand, in Islam, the hijab is a traditional head covering worn by Muslim women that covers their head and neck but leaves the face uncovered. The hijab is mentioned in the Quran as a requirement for Muslim women to dress modestly and to protect their beauty and dignity. The concept of hijab in Islam goes beyond just physical clothing and encompasses a broader sense of modesty and self-respect. Muslim women who wear hijab do so as an act of religious devotion and as a way of asserting their faith and identity in a world that often misunderstands and marginalizes Islam. However, is this why Chantal wears the hijab? I feel she is wearing it to just cover up and to be able to call out any who criticize her. She is basically making a mockery of the religion for her own personal gain. There are different styles and variations of the hijab worn by Muslim women, including the niqab, which covers the face entirely except for the eyes, and the burqa, which is a full-body covering that includes a mesh panel over the eyes. Both the Christian veil and the Muslim hijab have cultural significance beyond their religious symbolism. In some cultures, the veil is worn in formal occasions such as weddings, while in others, it is seen as a traditional accessory. The hijab, on the other hand, is a cultural staple in many Islamic countries and is often tied to broader cultural practices and customs. The Christian veil and the Muslim hijab are two distinct head coverings with different religious and cultural significance. The veil is predominantly worn by Christian women as a symbol of modesty and religious devotion, while the hijab is a traditional head covering worn by Muslim women as an expression of their faith and identity. Both the veil and the hijab have cultural significance beyond their religious symbolism, and their practice and use vary across different regions and cultures. Finally, the Christian veil and the Muslim hijab have different political and social connotations. While the Christian veil has been largely accepted in Western societies, the hijab has been a controversial topic, often seen as a marker of incompatibility with Western liberal values such as gender equality and secularism. In recent years, there have been a growing number of movements both within and outside of the Muslim world that seek to challenge these stereotypes and provide a more nuanced understanding of the hijab that takes into account individual agency and the diversity of Muslim cultures. Thanks for watching, and be sure to leave a comment below.